Everything that exists has energy. If it didn't have any energy at all, it wouldn't exist. Even a rock, if you zoom into the particles of the rock, you see that they're constantly vibrating and bouncing off each other. They are full of energy. And as a human being, you're no different. You are full of energy from the second you wake up in the morning to when you go to work, when you come home, when you go to sleep. All of that is you having energy to live. If you didn't have any energy at all, you wouldn't be living. You would be dead. So one of the problems that many people experience in their lives is the feeling of not having enough energy. When you don't feel like you are full of energy, you don't feel alive and fresh and excited and inspired in your life, then things in your life don't tend to go very well. It's difficult to do healthy habits. It's difficult to be motivated and inspired to do things that you know are good for you. On the personal development journey, on the path of self-actualization and spirituality, it is so key for you to know how to maintain a high energy state so that you can create amazing art that inspires people, so that you can hike and just live your best life. You can do the things you love. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 10 easy ways. Well, easy is relative, but I'm going to be sharing with you 10 ways that you can increase your levels of energy so that you can feel motivated and inspired on a daily basis to continue improving yourself and to continue becoming an amazing human being. All right, so the first way to increase your energy levels is to clean up your diet. This is very important. If you can imagine your human body like a pipe, for example, the energy is flowing through the pipe like the water flows through a pipe. But if you're not eating healthy food, if you're eating fried foods, processed sugars, too much meat, and other things that we'll go into in a second, what this does is this creates gunk on the pipe, and it doesn't allow the energy to flow smoothly. It clogs the flow of energy. So what does that mean to clean up your diet? Now, I understand that there is literally millions of voices out there all screaming at you about what food you should be eating and what food you shouldn't be eating. And this was a problem that I struggled with. I was lost and confused. I didn't know what diet was the best diet. So over the last 8 years, I've done tons of experimentation with many different kinds of diets. I've done paleo, I've done keto, I've done vegan, I've done carnivore, I've done combinations of those. I've cut out many different foods and introduced many other foods. I've tested and experimented a lot with diet, and I know that everyone is different. I get it, people have different bodies. However, it's very important to understand that I can't give an entire diet presentation in this video because that's not the point, but it's important to understand that whatever diet you're eating, you need to follow certain principles. First of all, you need to understand that your body is full of toxic chemicals from your environment. The air you breathe is full of pollution from cars and planes and pesticide runoff. The water you drink is full of heavy metals from pipes like lead, mercury, arsenic, copper. All of this stuff has been accumulating in your body for many, many, many years, ever since you were born. Even before you were born, actually, a lot of heavy metals from your mother's body that she was carrying you in her womb, that gets passed on to you. So deep in your organ tissues, your organs have heavy metals and microplastics and other toxins that feed pathogens and bad bacteria, such as Epstein-Barr virus. This causes a whole host of chronic illnesses such as thyroid problems, eczema, low, just generally low energy, brain fog, and a whole host of other things. So when you're eating diets that are very high in fat, for example, like keto, where they tell you to eat butter and eggs every morning, fat does not help your body cleanse itself, and it doesn't make you feel clean and light. Whatever diet you're eating should make you feel clean and light. So what I've discovered in my experience is that Anthony William, the medical medium, has the best diet advice on earth right now, and there's many reasons for that. I've made a whole video about it in the past called Diet for Spirituality, and I'll have to make a whole nother video of it. But basically, Anthony William is getting a very rare and profound quality of information that he's actually channeling. It's like a spiritual intuition that he's channeling, this extremely detailed and scientific medical or diet advice. So his protocol that I've been testing and experimenting on and off for many years, and I'm now been on it very consistently just because it makes me feel so amazing, is in the morning he tells you to drink some lemon water, and then to wait 15 minutes, and then to drink celery juice, and then to wait 30 minutes, and then to have fruit. This makes your body feel so energized and so hydrated, and it does all sorts of benefits that I can't go into in this video. I will make another video about it, and I have made videos about it in the past. But just understand that Anthony Williams' diet, the medical medium diet, is next level amazing, and it makes you feel extremely good if you actually follow it. So I recommend testing it out for yourself. You don't have to take my word for it. Actually do his morning cleanse. I'll link a video in the description where you can learn more about it. You can buy one of his books. Try his protocol for 30 days, 60 days. See how you feel. And then you can make a decision based on the results that you get. All right. So I'll have to make a whole nother video about that. The second way to increase your energy and your motivation is to be more conscious with how you're using your sexual energy. I just made a whole video about how porn ruins your sexual energy. This is true for men and for women as well, for both genders, or whatever you're identifying as. Your sexual energy is sacred. This is the energy of desire. This is the Kundalini energy. That this is creation energy. This determines how you create your life. So you don't want to be using your sexual energy in an unconscious way, and I recommend using it less in general. Our whole culture is over-sexualized. There's just, everything is about sex all the time, and people are masturbating every single day and thinking about sex all day. In spiritual disciplines, like in Hinduism, in Buddhism, if you want to become a monk, or even in Catholicism, they tell you to be celibate. And of course, in certain cases, this leads to repression problems and psychological repression, that kind of stuff. But in general, we can find this sort of middle way, this balance of being more or less celibate in your life, where you're not masturbating all the time. You're not watching porn all the time. You're not expending your sexual energy so much. It's okay to be horny once in a while, but for the most part, you're allowing that sexual energy to move upwards through your chakras. You're not spilling it out of your lower chakras, because then your whole life becomes just kind of all about eating food, entertaining yourself, and securing your survival and having sex. That becomes your whole life. Most of our culture is just living in the lower chakras. So if you abstain from overusing your sexual energy, then you allow it to flow upwards into your heart, into your throat, where you can become creative. And that moves us into our next point, which is to follow your passion and your playfulness. Follow what excites you. This is so important. Like, I made a whole video about following your highest excitement, but your passion is by definition a source of energy. When you feel that a certain thing in your life is interesting you or exciting you, you should go down that direction. Because if you feel energized when you think about taking a certain path in your life, maybe it's a certain class you want to take, or even just a place that you want to visit, or a book that you want to read, or a new hobby that you want to undertake. If this thing is really exciting you, that means that it is connected to your passion. And this is the source of your energy in your life. This is, if you can follow your highest excitement, the thing that excites you the most and fills you with the most energy on a moment-to-moment basis in your life, then by definition, your life will be filled with the most energy. And you might say, well, Adam, but if I follow my highest excitement, then isn't something bad going to happen to me? Like, aren't I going to run out of money? Or aren't I going to get into trouble? And the answer is no. Because when you're following excitement, I'm not talking about lower excitement, which is like craving and lust. There's a difference between lust and craving and coming from lack. Like, I feel so terrible that I need to go to a strip club because I need to distract myself. That's lust. Excitement and passion, that's a different energy. That's more so you feel it more in your heart. You feel like a child, like a little kid playing in a grassy meadow. It's fun. You're laughing. You're doing cartwheels. You feel free and excited. The more you can follow that path in your life, the higher energy you'll feel. And this energy, having high energy, that allows you to offer more value to other people's lives. And that is how you make money. That is how you get relationships. That is how you feel happy, by helping others, adding lots of value. And the deepest, most powerful way to do that is by sharing your passion and following your passion and then sharing it. So number 4 will be to create inspiring art. So before we even talk about that, let's switch number 4. I'll switch it out into, first is absorb inspiring art. That's a great way to increase your energy. Certain pieces of art, like books, movies, paintings, songs, high energy art that is made with love. There's a higher level of energy that I have to make a whole series about the levels of energy, but you feel it, you feel inspired. It's a positive message to benefit all. It's not a movie like a horror movie or just like an action thriller, but it's more so like an inspiring piece of art, like a Studio Ghibli movie or like older Disney movies. They're just made artistically. It can inspire you. Same with books as well. Whatever piece of art inspires you and makes you feel good, it's good to absorb a lot of that. That keeps you inspired. This is one of the main keys of the whole self-actualization journey, is just, how do I keep myself inspired consistently over the long run? That's one of the things that you're going to struggle with a lot. So one way to do that is to read books and pieces of art, music that inspires you, along with all these other things. So number 5 is then to create inspiring art. So as you feel your level of energy increasing, as you follow these other tips, you'll find that now my passion wants to share with someone else because I have a desire to impact others. So number 5 and number 6 are mixing right now. So when I think about my desire to impact others, think about how do I want to change the world, or how do I want to change somebody else's life? What positive, inspiring thing do I want to add into the collective consciousness? How do I want to show up in somebody else's life and help them or change them in a positive way that they want? So when you're thinking about others and giving to others, creating art for the purpose of inspiring or impacting others, then what's happening is your auric field is actually expanding and is increasing outwards to include others into your auric field. So in Buddhism, for example, they do lots of meditations like loving kindness, where we're sharing loving kindness out and we're making offerings to other beings. We're sharing it. May all beings be happy and be free from suffering. This is expanding your aura. You're literally becoming one with everything because you're substituting yourself for another. You're treating another how you would want to be treated. That's the golden rule. You're helping someone else with as much love and depth and consciousness as you can muster. But remember, you can only help someone else as deeply as you've gone yourself. So that's why we have these other ways to increase your energy, to fill your own cup up first. And then as we let it overflow, it's just this like positive feedback loop. So number 6 is to clean your house and to do a mind dump. So clean your house and to clean your mind. So throughout the day, a lot of junk just kind of accumulates in your house. This is natural. This is a natural part of living. The floors get dirty, the tables get dusty, there's hair on the floor, etc. There's furniture, there's old things that you haven't gone through. Your closet needs to be organized and cleaned. So a fantastic way to increase your energy levels is to do a good clean. Go through the old stuff and organize it and get rid of things you don't need anymore. It's good to clear out the junk. Because when you're clearing your physical environment, even just the process of clearing the junk out, it's like you're cleaning your mind out as well. It's like you're upgrading. You're getting rid of the junk so that new positive energy can enter in. You can do this with your mind as well. A great way to clean your mind is to just take a piece of paper and to write down all the things you've been thinking about that have been on your mind. So like, oh, I have to do my taxes. I have to call this person back. I have to write this email. I have to go to the store and pick up this new thing. I have to renew my passport. I have to visit my grandmother. So all of these things that pile up in your mind, all of the tasks that have been kind of on the back burner, when they're on the back burner, they're actually draining your energy and your attention. So a great thing to do is to get them off the back burner of your mind and to put them out on a piece of paper and start knocking them out one by one. You can have a mind cleaning day where you just devote the entire day just to doing all those things one by one that you've been putting off. That can make you feel full of energy and really help you because those tasks are draining your energy. So when you kind of knock them out, then you now have the energy freed up to go into something more positive. All right, so the next way to increase your energy, I think we're on number 8 now, is to discover your top strengths, your astrology, your human design, your MBTI, your Myers-Briggs. So there's different personality type tests where you can learn about yourself and who you are. what this does is it inspires you, and you allows you to contemplate, who am I? What am I good at? How am I different from others? What's my unique thing that I can offer to the world? So I'll leave links in the description to the tests for your top strengths, your astrology. True sky astrology is the best kind of astrology because it's based on the actual planets in the actual sky. Your human design, your Myers-Briggs type indicator, that I have to make a whole video about because most people don't really know how to use that very well, and they get typed wrong and all sorts of stuff. But for the most part, your astrology, you can't mess that up. Your top strengths, you can't mess that up. Human design, those things, when you learn about those things and read about them, you should be researching yourself like a research project. You're your number one asset in your life. So you want to learn about, how do I work? What are the energies that are governing my life based on the time I was born, the place I was born, and even my strengths, my personality, etc. So learn your personality. I do have another video about that. I think it's called 9 different personality type systems, where I go into more depth about that. All right, another way to increase your energy is to quit addicting habits. So we talked about quitting sex addiction, but also video games and smoking weed will totally ruin your energetic system. Now, if you're playing a video game that is like a piece of art, that's different. That goes into the art category. But if you're playing video games addictively, like Call of Duty or like League of Legends, or these games that are just like constantly like needing more energy from you, the ones that like make you feel frustrated, those games that frustrate you, those ones are totally draining your energy. Also, smoking weed as well, a little bit once in a while is all right. You can get some good insights and have a good time. That's okay. There's nothing morally wrong with smoking weed. You don't have to be puritanical. But if it's like a constant habit where it's like every single day you're smoking weed, it starts to just drain you over time. It starts to lower your overall levels of energy because now it's starting to become a crutch where you just need it all the time. And this is draining you because the truth is that your inner self is the source of infinite energy. You don't need another thing to give you energy. Your natural state is energetic. That moves us into the next one, which is to meditate. To meditate and to actually rest in your being. Most people don't do this, and think about it. If you don't fully, completely allow your soul to rest in being through meditation, even if it's a bit uncomfortable, you can rest through that, being with yourself for an hour a day, sitting in meditation. This connects you back to the inner wellspring of healing and joy and abundance and love that is in your heart. It's always there, but you're not connected to it because you're always like going outside of yourself, trying to get energy from the outer world, not realizing that you actually are energy. If you actually just do nothing and you just hop off the hamster wheel of chasing and you sit with your being, you realize in some really paradoxical way, you start to feel amazing. You start to feel joyful and blissful. In the beginning, it'll be difficult, but with the right guidance and the right help, you can feel great. I do have a free meditation class, so if you're struggling with your meditation, then come join that class. We're meditating together every week, and it's been very amazing. So meditation, when you rest yourself, you connect back with your inner source of energy and you start to feel amazing. All right, the next way to increase your energy is to exercise, go out in sunlight, and go hang out in nature as well. So that's like a triple whammy all in one point. So exercise is whenever the human being gains energy by using energy. This is kind of paradoxical. If you just sit on the couch all day and do nothing, you'll actually feel very low in energy. That's weird because you think, but Adam, aren't I like conserving my energy? You'd think that, but actually the human being gets more energy by using more energy. So when you exercise, go for a run and do some push-ups, pull-ups, jumping jacks. Mike Chang has a lot of great exercises on YouTube. I like them because they're more conscious. They're not like robotic and stiff. You can still exercise but not feel your energy be increased if you're doing it in a clinging, attached, strict, rigid sort of way. If you feel exhausted and tired after a workout and you feel drained, then you're probably not doing it right. After a workout, you should feel good. You should feel energized. You should feel like you had a nice workout and you feel good. Now you're ready to continue your life. So learning to exercise in an organic sort of way with fun movements, have fun when you exercise. Be loose and limber and mix it up, right? Don't be so strict and rigid like a robot when you exercise. That'll help to increase the energy flow in your body. Tapping yourself is a great way to do that. Just doing a nice little body tap on your back, your legs, your feet. Stand up, shake, right? Even if you're watching this video now, stand up, do a little shake, bounce up and down a little bit like this. Like you're on a trampoline on your toes. Bounce up and down. This helps to circulate the energy through your body. Sunlight as well. Sunlight's just the source of energy. Isn't that amazing? You don't have to work hard to get energy. You can just go out and get the sun. Also nature as well. Being in nature, your senses start to open up. It starts to open up your awareness. And when your awareness is opened up and your energy expands, you start to feel more energized when you connect with the patterns and the sounds and the smells of nature. All right, a bonus as well, have been a lot of bonuses, is a cold shower. So you can start the shower with warm water, and then as you go on, you slowly turn it colder, and it's going to be a little bit shocking at first. Of course, it's going to shock you a bit, but you got to kind of be strong. you got to allow it to, you got to feel into it. Don't close against the cold water. Use this as a practice of opening up through pain and difficulty. Our natural tendency as human beings is to close up and tense against uncomfortable sensations. So taking a cold shower is a great way to practice opening up through uncomfortability, which is not a word, but my friend said it once and it kind of stuck with me. You can let the cold water on your body, and it actually wakes up your cells. And after you get out of a cold shower, you'll feel fresh and alive and ready to go, ready to take on life. So try that one. Another way to increase your energy and your motivation so that you can have an amazing life is to write down your top 10 goals and review them every morning and night. So think about, what are the top 10 goals that I want to achieve by the end of the year? So it can be a 1-year goal. And make sure they're aligned with something that you're actually passionate about, something you actually love. Don't say, I want to finish my degree, but if you hate your degree, don't make that your goal. Your goals should be related to what you actually love, what you're passionate about. And I have a course about that as well. And I've talked about that on my channel a lot, like creating goals that are based on what you love. So there's three types of goals. You can do skill improvement goals. What are the skills that you need to build in order to achieve your life purpose? To add value and love and wisdom to the world. What skills do you need? Think about the version of yourself out in the future. What skills does he or she have that you're lacking? And then figure out how to bridge that gap. I have another video about that that I'll link in the description. And then once you have these top 10 goals, review them in the morning and at night. That'll kind of help to remind you and to inspire you, as well as keep you motivated. And the last way to increase your energy is to save at least 10% of all the money that comes your way. This is key. This might sound a little bit basic, but it's actually very important. All money that goes through your hands, whether you find $2 on the floor or you get a tax return from the government or someone pays you for work that you do, 10% of that money should be saved. And what that means is that you are saving the money from being spent for any reason. See, this is a whole thing that I'll be talking about more in the future, but we think that our savings are going to save us at some point in the future. But then what happens if you think that, then the savings somehow always end up getting spent, and then you don't end up saving the money that comes your way. If you think throughout your lifetime how much money has went through your hands ever since you were a child. If you actually think about it, it's probably a lot of money. It's probably at least like $100,000. The question is, where is that money now? Why don't you have it? Because probably spent all of it. So if you kept only 10% of that money, you still would have survived. You think about it. Would you have been able to survive if you only had 90% of that money? Yeah, you could have probably lived on 90%. You wouldn't have perished. You would have been fine. So if you kept 10% and put it away, you would have a lot of it still. So when we're talking, how does this increase your energy? Because the way you use your money is also the way you use your energy as well. They're actually connected. They're very similar. So a great way to increase your energy is to save a portion of your money so that you feel every single time you get any money at all, a paycheck or whatever it is, you feel good that I'm going to get to keep some of this forever. This is a whole mindset thing. Some of it you're going to invest. Some of it you're going to save for later. Some of it you're going to keep forever. This is, I know this, a lot of this doesn't make any sense yet because I haven't talked about this yet, but just if you take anything from what I'm trying to say here is save 10% of your money and just keep it. And there's other things that you can do with it, like invest it and stuff, but not all of it. Some of it you want to keep, and that I'll have to do a whole workshop on, which is actually something that we'll be releasing in the next few weeks. I'm doing a money mindset workshop. I'm really excited about that. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can click the link in the description to learn a little bit more about that and join the waiting list. This is something I struggled with a lot, just finding that all the money I was making was just getting spent, and then I was just constantly having money problems until finally I decided to actually fix my mindset about money. And once I fixed my mindset and my spending and saving habits, then it was like a lot easier. Now I have these like deep rock solid foundations of every single time I get money, I know exactly where it's going, what's like, I have purposes for it. And it's just growing and growing and growing now because that's what I've created in my mind, which is very, very, that's the key right there to all of your money health. So if that's something you're interested in, then you can click the link in the description to join the wait list. And that will be happening in the next few weeks. Otherwise, I hope you liked this video. These were 10 ways to increase your energy and your motivation for life so that you can be inspired every single day, full of energy to create the life that you want for yourself, and to, most importantly, to share and to benefit other people, other beings. That's the most important. So if you're interested in that, subscribe to this channel, stay tuned for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one.